maybe you don't want this. Is that too dark? Or maybe that's the way it needs to be. You don't want this. Is that too dark? Or maybe that's the way it needs to be. Maybe that's the way it needs to be. How about that's the way it's gonna be? I mean, unless I change my mind. You can always change your mind. Good morning, Josh Ogrand. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Mermaid. You can always change your mind. I think for me, as a guy that's struggled with anxiety and fear and stress, I'd be always worried I'm making a mistake. And I think when you always are worried, you're making a I'm making a mistake. And I think when you always are worried, you're making a mistake, I think you're also striving for perfection, and that's a really hard combination. So right now, I pushed go live, and the light behind me was bright and casting a weird glow on my camera screen. Didn't like it. So I was going, should I turn it off? Should I not? Should I turn it off? And I said, I'll turn it off. Then I sat down here and said, how's this? Is this good? Let me check how it is, by the way. Looks pretty good to me. And just realizing that I wasn't marrying this lighting or committing to it in any long-term way. I could go ahead, see how it goes. If I don't like it, I can always change it. Made me feel a lot better. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Mermaid. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Jonna. Good morning, it's just me. Good morning, Chip. Good morning, Vera. Hello, Robert. Hello, Asnal. Hello, The Thrill. Hey, I was really hoping that The Thrill would join us today. I found my show over the last few weeks losing just a little bit of the thrill that it once had. And now that I see The Thrill has joined the show, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I know the show is going to be chock full of the thrill today. It's going to be a thrilling show. It might be most thrilling show to date. We'll keep our fingers crossed that will happen. Excuse me, gotta itch my ear a little bit. Feels kind of good. I almost want to talk about something gross, but I won't talk about something gross. I got mad about this very subject once, and I won't talk about it now. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Saturday morning. It is 5:03 a.m. What the heck are any of us doing awake at this time? I know why I'm awake. I think I went to bed crazy early, or pretty darn early. I don't know what your guys' excuse is. I worked yesterday. I opened the restaurant and had a real good shift and had a real big table and a real bunch of nice, generous, friendly, outgoing customers that frankly, I think loved me. And it felt really good. And it was just as busy as I wanted, and I could give them just as much attention as I wanted, which was almost my complete attention. Oftentimes I feel the table wants me to sit down and join them. And that was certainly my feeling yesterday. Feels good when that happens. But anyway, it's Saturday morning. It is 5:04 a.m. It is, I don't even know what day is it. Is it November 9th? I think it might be November 9th. If it's November 10th, somebody please let me know. I don't love being corrected, but if anybody knows, I'm going to guess it's November 9th. It kind of feels like November 9th. Oh, wait. Yes, it's November 9th. I forgot to reset my watch, and we haven't had a 30-day or a 28-day month since I reset my watch. So, note to self, watch set correctly. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So, I don't know if it's going to be caught up. I wonder, does anybody know, do these kind of watches, when you have a date in them, do they plan on the months being 31 days or 30 days? I don't know. I don't know. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking and sharing some feelings, sharing some ups and downs. And since I'm kind of numb right now and I almost don't feel I have any feelings because I'm doing my best just to keep my eyes open at this early hour. For those that know and have watched a while, you know, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And I'm excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, it's a pumpkin spice and it is delicious. It's delicious. Somebody just asked, what's going to be my first trip in my Kia? Well, I'd consider I've already taken my first trip. My first and most important trip was going to pick up my two beautiful little babies that live in a nearby town with their mama. And I did that the other day, and that felt so good. So by far, that's my most important trip. And my next trip will be probably picking them up again in a couple days and spending some time with them. And not quite where I want to be. Don't quite have the home I want for them yet, and don't quite have the car seats in place or the stroller that fits in well. But we can make it work right now, and I can borrow their mama's car seats and borrow her stroller and fit everything in and make it work. So I've already done my first trip. My next trip might be probably on Thanksgiving to go out to my sister's house. I was wondering, although my oldest daughter, I don't know if I have my older ones or my younger ones on Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what, it's hard keeping track of parenting schedule and holiday schedule when you have one ex-wife, but if you got two, it's just impossible. But anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to be with my kids on Thanksgiving. I would like to be, but not totally sure, and don't totally know if I could handle it. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Don't know if they'd all fit. My oldest has a car, could drive separately, but not sure. But I appreciate the question just the same. What percent of the tip does the wait staff get? I've always wondered. Also, is cash best way to tip? I think cash is the best way to tip. I had a large party yesterday, about 15 women, and at the restaurant I work at, we have a rule that we automatically add a 20% gratuity at parties of 8 or more. And I told them that, and they knew that, and the hostess paid for it, and the gratuity was added in, as she knew. But then the ladies who were having such a fun time with me, each threw in some cash and handed me this big wad of cash at the end. Felt pretty good. Don't think I'm going to claim that. That went in the pocket and felt good. So yeah, good morning, truly. But what percent of the tip? We tip out the few people in the restaurant. We tip out, and every restaurant's a little different. But where I work right now, we tip out the bartenders a little bit because they make the drinks that our tables need to keep it going. We tip out the server assistants, which are like bus boys. And we might tip out. Yeah, we tip out a couple different jobs, but it's okay. It works out okay. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I believe when on my first day of training, the woman I was training under said, we also get paid an hourly wage of $8.40 an hour. And she said your hourly wage covers your taxes and your tip outs to the other employees just about perfectly. So when, if you get $200 in credit card tips on a given night, that's probably going to show up on your paycheck in 2 weeks. So that's kind of a good way for me to think of it. I spend $8.40 an hour on taxes and tipping out my co-workers. And holy smokes! Holy smokes! I have a customer I have one of yesterday's customers on my show. On my show. Can't believe it. I sat with this table of, like I said, like 15 women. I didn't sit with them, but I served them, and they were my last table of the day, and they were a lot of fun, and they were here on for a event, and they're all from out of state, and we all had a good time, and most of them were drinking wine, but a few were having some cocktails. And one of the women that was sitting at the table is watching my show right now. It's watching my show right now. That's so funny. Welcome, Courtney. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. No kidding, it's early. No kidding, it's early. Yeah, it's amazing. I wonder if she went to sleep. They had a big evening ahead. They were going to go and do this and then go to dinner and have people from all over the country coming in, and it sounded tiring. And I actually went out after work. And I went out after work. I went to a bar in Naperville. And I told these ladies, hey, don't go to the hotel bar, go to the Lantern. The Lantern is my most favorite bar in all of downtown Naperville. And I'm sitting there going, hey, I got cut early because I opened, and looks like it's going to be a slowish Friday night. So what am I going to do? Go back to my extended stay? I don't know if I'm going to go back to my extended stay or wanted to necessarily on a Friday night at like 5:30 or whatever it was. And I was talking to these ladies. They were going out. They were full of spunk, and the hostess asked me where they should go to dinner, and then I suggested a bar that I like, and it's the Lantern. It's kind of a dive bar, local bar, but a fun bar in downtown Naperville with reasonably priced drinks, kind of very casual, but you could walk in there in a suit and tie too, and nobody would look at you twice. And but a sports bar and a fun bar and a good just mix of people. So if anybody out there is from Naperville and wants to just get a totally non-pretentious bar, we certainly have our share of pretentious bars where, as people like to make fun of me, you have to drink your drinks with your pinky up. Oh. But, so anyway, I went out to the Lantern after work. I figure, I'm eating in my extended stay. I get random foodstuffs, but I don't have a full kitchen really here. Figure I needed some dinner. I'd just had a very fun and generous table I waited on, and although I only had 4 or 5 tables yesterday total, I think I had 4 total tables, but one was a 15 top. I did pretty well, and because I had nice, generous, friendly, happy, fun customers, and can't tell you how good that feels. Yeah. again, I say this is, I barely look at my job as work. I mean, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. And I'd almost do it for free. I'd almost do it for free. Because, you know, the work isn't that grueling, and it's mostly where I'm working right now. I think it's mostly a personality-based job. And the people that go there are usually looking to have a nice time. And I like having a nice time, and I bring a positive energy to work most days. And to my tables, I think just about 100% of the time. And certainly was with a bunch of ladies that wanted to have a nice time. And it made it fun. Made it fun. I tell you what, they give me some grief, though. They give me some grief. But I guess I probably asked for it. I probably asked for it a little bit. But anyway, so I went out to the Lantern last night, and I'm in this bar, and it was more crowded than I expected, because it was, 5:30 on a Friday night. Yeah, could have been a happy hour crowd, but it wasn't. The local football team is in the state tournament, and this bar is a walk to the football field where they play at. So a lot of parents and maybe alumni of the school were in this bar, and it was crowded, filled with, I might as well just say it, I can say the high school, Naperville Central. Naperville Central was in the playoffs. I don't know if they won last night or not. Apparently they were playing Fremd football team, and apparently Naperville Central is 8-1 this year, because I learned it because I was talking to one of the parents. Okay, they did win. And they were nervous, but the bar was crowded with people wearing red shirts and red sweatshirts. And I sat on the very far corner of the same chair I used to sit 4 days a week when I was going there and drinking all the time. I used to drink. I used to drink almost every day. It was kind of who I was and what I did. And I am telling you, for those out there that are drinkers, you don't know how much drinking is a part of your personality till you stop. And then you go back to the place that you're spent so many hours at, and you look around and you go, wow. I mean, I'm enjoying my sandwich, loved it. It was actually really good. I got the patty melt and the onion rings. And yes, I put ketchup on my onion rings and the patty melt. I actually didn't put the ketchup on the patty melt or on the onion rings. I took a ton of it and went on the plate. I go, well, that's certainly got to be enough. And I dipped the patty melt and I dipped the onion rings right in the ketchup. But quickly, all the ketchup was gone, and I went back because I like a lot of ketchup. I was shocked. I've talked about that before. That some people think the idea of ketchup on onion rings is grotesque. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. They must hate tomatoes. I don't know. But anyway. So the bar was very crowded. Truly, the price did go up. When I used to go, and I went, it was kind of a one of those bars that did their best to stay open even when the world shut down 4 years ago. And they used to have like these buses out front where you could go and eat in a very yucky atmosphere, I feel, if you needed to get out of your house. And then for a while they had these big plastic partitions up, so even at the bar, so you'd be sitting at the bar but you'd be looking at people to your right or left, and it wasn't very crowded through a plastic shield. What a horrible time that was. What a horrible time that was. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, the prices did go up. I think the burger and the patty melt used to be maybe $8.95 there, and I think it was $13.95 last night. But I'll tell you what, it was $20 well spent out the door, because it was good. I saw some of the same people I used to know. Certainly A couple of the bartenders, several of the bartenders are still there several years later. Said it's been a long time. It's probably been at least a year since I've been in this bar. But it was good to be back. But it was also a strange feeling. I tell you what, I think when I was single, I think my pastime, my greatest calling, this is going to be embarrassing, but was getting drunk and hitting on women. Was getting drunk and hitting on women, thinking I'd find the woman of my dreams in a bar while I was drunk. I thought that's the way you did it. And I think that's the way people still did it. You know, you'd see guys and girls laughing and having it seems like a great time at the bar, and I'm kind of quietly sitting there eyeballing everybody, eating my patty melt. But I'll tell you what, I was loving my patty melt and I was loving my onion rings. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. But I was looking around going, hey, I used to be one of these people that be walking up to girls and going, hey, what are you doing? I was never good at it. It was frustrating, let me tell you. I was never good at it. I don't know how often I met the woman of my dreams in a bar, but I sure tried. And I was drunk, sometimes staggering drunk, and sometimes they were. I'm going to go on this subject. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, it's gross. If I look back and I'm looking at myself here, judging myself, hitting on women, didn't really matter if I liked them or not, or we've all heard the expression beer goggles. Doesn't matter almost what they look like or maybe what I look like. But a bunch of drunk people getting together looking to hook up. Kind of yucky. I mean, I don't know. It's what it is. It's what it was. But it's kind of yucky. And it felt kind of good sitting there going, hey, I wouldn't want any of these women. I wouldn't want to meet somebody in this bar. It's loud. They might be drunk. I don't know if I'd even, I guess I'd date a woman that drank, but I certainly wouldn't want her to be a regular attendant of a bar. And I'm not saying necessarily there's anything wrong with it, because I did it for so many years. I did it for so many years. But I wouldn't do it now. And I think the next woman I date is going to have to be a pretty special woman. Not saying the women back there weren't special, but going forward, because I don't have this desperate need to get drunk and pick up women at a bar. I'm going to actually, the next woman I date's probably going to have to, I don't know if she has to be the right woman. But she'll have to, probably won't meet her at a bar. Good morning, Jimmy. Christy says people are lonely. Yeah, but I almost think the drinking makes them lonelier. Almost think the drinking of alcohol makes them lonelier. Because I'm less lonely now and I hang out with people less than I ever did. And I'm living in an extended stay, and I'm waiting tables, and I'm seeing a friend this morning. We're meeting out for breakfast, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't seen him in a few weeks, so that'll be nice. But I feel I'm less lonely now than I ever was, because I was looking for the alcohol or the sex to fill a void. And I mean, my void's not totally filled in every way. But I feel okay. I feel okay. Christy says alcohol is a depressant. It clouds judgment and changes perspective. It sure does. It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously. Seriously. You know. And if you got two people who are together in a bar that don't know each other and their judgment is clouded and their perspective changes, I mean, the odds of that being a magic relationship are few and far between. Truly, truly said, should alcohol be illegal? I believe it should be, no, I'd say no. I don't like big government. I don't like government telling people what they can and can't do. But I think it should be recognized as the drug that it is. And I kind of looked at it as fun juice for most of my life. In the last 10 years, I started, hello, Sandra Lynn. I was at the Lantern last night, Sandra Lynn. I was just telling a story about the Lantern. But I think for most of my life, I looked at alcohol as just some party juice. Kind of some benevolent party juice that put me in a good mood and made me forget my problems. What I didn't ever gather, no, I did probably, is that if you got problems and you go to a bar and get drunk, you're going to forget those problems, but you're going to wake up with some more problems than you had in the morning. Because not only do you have all the issues and stuff you were dealing with the day before, whatever those issues were, but you felt like crap, you spent $100 at the bar, and you might be waking up with somebody you don't even know. Yeah. So that's interesting. So I don't want alcohol to be illegal. And I guess if I say that, I almost think we should legalize them all. Because I'd rather the government not get involved as much as they have over the last several years in our lives. But I think we should be open and honest and maybe take alcohol advertising off TV. Maybe take alcohol advertising off TV. They used to run cigarette ads on TV, but they don't anymore. You know? Maybe take alcohol advertising off TV, which totally glorifies it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, you always have a beautiful woman dancing and drinking whatever. Good-looking guy, you know. But alcohol is a dangerous drug. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it that alcohol is a dangerous drug. And our acting like it's not, or me pretending it was just fun juice. And we're told that. We're told that. We watch the commercials. You know, you watch a movie, everybody's cracking a beer. I think maybe that's changing a little bit. Things change quicker than you think. Again, I'm 56. You watch a movie from the 80s, everybody in it smoking cigarettes everywhere they go. And I remember those times. But, yeah, I remember those times. But it seems so distant now. I work in a restaurant now. Yeah, we still serve alcohol. Oh, yeah, we do. But just imagine if people were smoking in there. It seems comical to think about. You know, I open the door and walk in the restaurant and go, hey. 40 years ago, if this restaurant existed, I'd walk in the door and this big cloud of smoke would come out. And it just seems so weird. Sandra Lynn said Naperville's Farmers Market is having one last market because the weather is nice. Is it nice today? Sandra Lynn, I would normally go to that. But I'm meeting a buddy out for breakfast this morning, and I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen him in a month, and it'd be nice to catch up. I had a dream about he and his wife the other day. It was disturbing. I mean, not disturbing to you, but just kind of in a deep, dark way. I don't need to go into the details. It's not relevant to you. But, yeah. So things have changed. Have I ever cut someone off while waiting? No, but I've certainly thrown some cautionary words or glances, and I've had my boss tell me I should have cut them off. Yeah, I've had my boss tell me that they were too drunk, and I should have cut them off. I personally don't think it's a waiter's job to do that. It seems ridiculous. They're massive societal ills, and to put the person that's just trying to pay their rent as the stop for all of societal ills, you know, you've opened Pandora's box, and I'll tell you what, everybody's complicit in it. The government is, the alcohol companies, the restaurants, everybody's complicit in it. So to act like I'm the policeman and is in charge of cutting people off, I think is a joke. I think it's a joke, and I mean, I hope everybody does. You know, we're just trying to make it through this life like everybody else. Yeah, Christy says she gets that we're always held responsible for society's ills. I don't know how it would be for being a teacher, but as a waiter, it's ridiculous. I mean, and again, it's easy to point the finger at somebody else, but we as a society are saying alcohol is okay in moderation, and then we wink, because we know 90% or 50% of people can't moderate their drinking. They can't. They don't know how. They don't. And I couldn't. I didn't know how. I didn't. So I stopped drinking because I couldn't drink socially. But can you do other stuff socially? I mean, I don't know. I doubt it. So I don't know that we need to make alcohol illegal, because, yeah, who am I to say? But I think it's good to be open and honest and realize it's a dangerous drug and most people can't handle it. And it shouldn't be the waiter's or bartender's job to say, hey there, you've had enough. Because to be honest, they shouldn't even be walking in the door. If me or some bartender has to be their babysitter, if they can't make responsible decisions as grown adults for their own behavior, and we expect me to say, hey, I think you've had enough there, Joe. I'm going to cut you off. You know. You get a drunk guy at a bar and I tell him I'm not going to serve him anymore, he might take a swing at me. He might take a swing at me. Certainly it's not going to give me a good tip, I'll promise you that. And yes, I know there's things more important than the tip I get, but I'm there to, pay the bills. Good morning, Julie Flanigan. Hey, Catherine Sheehan Daly, thank you so much for sharing the live. And I've had a couple people join me this morning and follow my live, and I want to say thank you to anybody out there that's new that follows my show. I go live every morning here on TikTok, and I drink a cup of coffee, which reminds me I'm going to get a little more, and talk about things. I'll have people hop on and go, hey, what's this show about? What do you talk about? I don't know. Just me drinking some coffee, talking. So let me get a little more. It's the pumpkin spice. Hey, Julie Flanigan, I'm drinking your extra large bag of pumpkin spice you got me, so an extra cheers to you. Ugh. think we can have certainly too many options in life. Because I talk about it almost daily, because it stresses me out every day. I have like 5 or 6 bags of coffee over there. And my favorite coffee's the pumpkin spice Starbucks. There's no doubt about it. But every day, and I got an extra large bag, the 17-ouncer bought by Julie Flanigan for me as a gift. She also bought me a bag of peanut M&Ms, and I'm still a little mad about her. She knows I have a problem, but she didn't care about my problem. She bought me the bag of peanut. It's her fault. She should have cut me off and said, Ken, I think you've eaten enough peanut M&Ms. I'm going to take this bag of peanut M&Ms away from you. Our friendship would have ended. I would have been very upset. What do you mean you're taking my peanut M&Ms away? You can't cut me off my peanut M&Ms. I love my peanut M&Ms. So she bought me a bag, and I ate them all. So if I look a little fatter to you today than I did a month ago, it's because Julie Flanigan bought me the bag of peanut M&Ms. But she also bought me a bag of pumpkin spice. And again, I think in life we can have too many options. And every morning I go over there and look at the coffees. And I've got pumpkin spice, which I love, and I've got Sumatra, which I think is a perfect balance for those. It's a deep, dark roast coffee. It's not as fun to me as the pumpkin spice, but it's a good coffee. And then I got a bunch of kind of flavored coffees from different brand makers. And every day all the other bags are looking at me going, are you going to pick me today? Are you going to pick me? And I look down at the coffee and I go, well, I guess I could have Market Pantry pecan pie coffee. I guess I could drink this Frederick's coconut or whatever. I guess I could save the pumpkin spice for later. And then days like today, I say, to heck with that. To heck with that. I'm going to drink the pumpkin spice. Let's talk about waiting tables. David Starsky says, if I close my eyes, hey, David Starsky, it's still early in the morning. Why don't you go lay down in bed, close your eyes, and just listen? Because he said, if I close my eyes and listen, this could be me talking about my life. He respects my honesty. Yeah, I appreciate that, David. Yeah, it's just me talking. And as I was telling these ladies that I was waiting on yesterday, it seems that for whatever reason, people like listening to me talk. What the heck? I'm going to talk then. So I'm going to keep going. Let's talk about amazing service. Let's talk about amazing service. I think there's people out there that are people, and there's people out there that aren't people. And I am a people person. And as a people person, sometimes I think I bother, upset, agitate the people that aren't people. Sometimes I might call those people that aren't people, grumpy people. Grumpy people. And sometimes grumpy people don't like happy people or people. And, oh, hey, Mr. Joyce said something nice. Thank you. There's a calm humility packed with genuine care when I hear me talk. It's refreshing. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's me. It's me. And it feels good to be able to, I tell you what. It's so weird because I'll have like trolls hop on and say I'm fake. I'm not as friendly as I act. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not perfect. I can get pissed off, believe me. I can yell and snap and be jealous and angry and every emotion, sad and cry. But that doesn't mean this is fake. Everybody that knows me. Those people don't know me. Those people don't know me. This is who I am. I met Julie. This is who I was. If Courtney's still watching, I was this person at the table last night. And back to that. It's so fun to be able to be at a job where I can be me.
And not everybody, I think, at my job appreciates me being me. Or any job I've ever had. Or any job I've ever had, because I don't know what it is, but I would say I give amazing service to my tables. If you like this, if you want me to be fully care that your waters are filled and that your food is hot and that you're having a nice time, you're going to love me as a server. If your ultimate care is somebody that will get you your drinks, get you your food, I would call it the very minimum basic service. And I think in the restaurant industry, there's a ton of waiters that give very basic, minimal service. And because of that, maybe they can handle more tables. Because they're not putting themselves fully invest in themselves in their customers. I know they're not. I watch it. But they'll get them their drinks, and they'll bring their food, and they'll bring them their check. And I'm sure there's people out there that's what they want. But I'll tell you what, when my customers come, they have a damn good time at the restaurant. I have no doubt about it. Not everybody. I can't turn a grumpy person around always. But if somebody is coming out to have a nice time and enjoy themselves, they're going to have a dang good time when I'm serving them. And that feels really good. I'm working today at 2. I'm working today at 2. If I have customers that are willing, that are looking to have a good time, I'm their man. Sean said he never understood people in the service business who don't give good service. Now, here's what I'll say about that. I think people define good service differently. You know, I might be a little scatterbrained, and it's possible that if I'm dealing with a huge table and somebody orders a Jack and Coke and I got 12 other drinks, I might forget that Jack and Coke. It's possible. But if they're okay with, I won't forget it for long, and if I do, I'll apologize, and I'll do everything I can to get it as quick as possible. But it's possible I could have a mistake. And it's probably possible anybody can have a mistake. I just am very hard on myself when I have a mistake. Because one of the ladies, she was dressed in pink at my table last night. She goes, hey, she ordered one of those drinks and you just left her hanging. And I looked around my table, who had been running me ragged in a very loving way. And I go, dang it, I did forget her drink. I did forget her drink. So I had no good comeback, because usually I got a good comeback, and I can handle it. But I had forgotten her drink. And I scurried off to the bar and said, hey, I really need that drink. However, that woman whose drink I had forgotten is watching my show right now. Or at least was watching my show earlier. Because she was looking to have a nice time. And she realized one waiter with 15 women that are having a nice time, ordering drinks and ordering food and all talking to me at the same time can be a little overwhelming. But I'll tell you what, I handle it pretty well. I was scolding them. It was fun. And I promised they had a good time, and I made the event a little more special. And I'll tell you what, it's nice to have that ability to do. And it feels good that I get to go to work today at a place that a good chunk of the time pays me well and I enjoy doing. Oh, it's so good. That is so good. What time is it? Is it 5:45? Woke up at 4:30 this morning. Again, I started work yesterday at 10:45. I got cut around 5-ish, right after this table left. I went to the Lantern, had a patty melt. Hey, Julie Flanigan, you're still watching. Next time you and Steve come, we're going to the Lantern. You'd probably like that better than Jackson Avenue, although it's loud. And we know it's loud, so that might be a little distracting. But it's a fun bar, and they have a really good patty melt, and I enjoyed it last night. But yeah, no, I got home early, threw on some TV, edited a few videos. The TV was distracting me from my video editing. I'm hoping to be a full-time content creator someday. I think this is what God put me on this planet to do. That maybe wait tables at my restaurant. I thought he would have had some higher calling, some CEO of a company or some mega successful salesperson, but there's a reason for things. And maybe what I didn't know is you can make a difference doing content creating or even waiting tables. And I think I made a difference in 15 women's lives yesterday for the 2 hours they were in my restaurant, and made their experience much more enjoyable, and made their visit to Naperville much more enjoyable, and their dining much more enjoyable, and hopefully gave them some good memories. So maybe no matter what job you're doing, you can make a difference. And you don't have to be CEO of the company or whatever to do it. But again, I was talking to one of my managers at work yesterday, and I was telling her how this continues to grow. And when I first started working there, she knew who I was because she'd seen my show before and she'd watched my show. And she knows I want to do this full time. And she looked at me and said, "Do you think?" And again, she's my boss. She's my boss. I'm 56. I'm waiting tables. And she goes, "Do you think you could be a life coach?" And again, I'm 56 years old. I'm broke. I'm waiting tables. I'm staying in an extended stay. I'm twice divorced. And my boss is asking if I could be a life coach. Because I was talking to her about stuff she's going through and had some insightful words about real estate, about relationships, about career paths. And I think she appreciated those words. And she thought, and she's my boss, that I could be a life coach. Thought it was kind of funny. And I said to her, well, I could be a life coach and do it one-on-one. But I think the platform I have through social media is where I should be. I have people hopping on going, hey, you should go be a associate professor or a philosophy professor or a business professor or a whatever professor at a college. And I said this to my boss last night and said, but then I would have to go apply to a college. Would they hire me? Would you? I don't know. And say, here's my experience. Will you please hire me? Plus, think about me in a university. I'd be in trouble so quick. I would be in trouble so quick working at a university. I'd say the wrong thing or offend a dean or be myself and piss somebody off, and I'd be in trouble day two. I'd probably be the most popular professor on campus, but there'd be one angry little somebody out there that would not be offended by something I say. It would happen. It would happen. I can't work in education. Education system's gone way too far left, I think, for me to work comfortably in that setting. Because I'm a devout middle of the roader. I am a devout middle of the roader. And if you're in the middle of the road politically, and you strongly believe that and will speak your mind, you won't be far enough left or right to fit certain cultures. And honestly, as a guy that's going to speak his mind and calls it like he sees it, I'm going to be in trouble in an educational system. So that wouldn't work. Plus, not only would I get in trouble, not only would I have to apply, I'd be talking to a class of maybe 30 people, maybe. Even if this hypothetical situation offered me a job. And I didn't get in trouble. But we know they wouldn't offer me a job, and we know I would get in trouble. So I don't know what we're even talking about, but let's pursue this hypothetical situation. Is I'd be talking to a room full of 30 people. And most of them wouldn't want to be there. I'd be the most popular professor on campus. So the kids I had would probably have a great experience in my class. Okay, so they might want to be there a little bit. And the word might get out amongst the university, hey, did you sign up for Life Coaching 202? It's got that crazy professor, Tracy. He's bald, he's loud, he laughs, he smiles, he cries, he bleeds, he hurts, he speaks his mind. They're talking about getting him fired from the university. He speaks his mind so much. And, yeah. Yeah. Dave Mason, I'm going to talk to you directly. And I've talked to you before. You have a way of bumming me out. And you just said something that's not true. Dave Mason said, people are saying your dad bought you a car. That's pretty nice of him. That's not true at all, David. I don't know who these people are you're hanging with. And you bummed me out for the last time. You continue to say things on my show every day. And I ignore your comments every day because I felt sorry for you. And I wanted you to feel better. And I wanted to invest in you. But you just said something that A is not true and B is insulting. And I don't need that in my life, Dave Mason. See you later. There we go. Don't worry about Dave Mason anymore. He is a 1 out of 20. He is a 1 out of 20. Again, he's commented so many times in really bummer ways, and I go, wow, I feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for this guy. Everything he says bums me out. And I do my best to raise his spirits, but his spirits wouldn't raise. So it makes me think, either he's a troll, which it seems he was by that last comment, or he doesn't want to be helped. But either way, I'm going to say it is so important to surround yourself with the right people. And every day I was watching Dave Mason say something. Every day his comment would go, everything he'd say. And I'd go, hey, maybe I can turn his frown upside down. But that last comment makes me think that he's not even a real person, that he was a troll. So now he's gone. Now he's gone. But anyway, where was I? I'm working in a college. Working in a college. Hypothetically. But I'd be talking to 30 people. And right now through TikTok, I'm talking to 58 people on my show. Good morning, Sue. And I'm talking to, 60 people on my show right now. And it's not even 6 in the morning on a Saturday. So if I want to get whatever message I have or whatever my energy is and make the most difference, I don't think I can find a better place than here on social media. I don't have to punch a clock. I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to, do parent-teacher conferences. But I get to be me to 65 people on a Saturday morning. And I am learning that me has some value. And that me being me, I don't need a niche. I don't need to be great. I don't need to have an awesome topic for the day. I can just drink some coffee and talk. And people tune in. And share a little bit of my life experiences and just kind of be open and honest and be me. And that feels really good. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning from Birmingham, Alabama. Truly, it wouldn't be at U of I because I'm not going to go work at a university. I mean, if a university saw my show and called me up and said, hey, Ken, we'll pay you $250,000 a year to give 6 classes a week at our university, I'd say sold. I'd say sold. But I'm certainly not going to be sending out a resume to various universities looking for that. Because A, I'd get fired, B, they wouldn't hire me, and C, I can talk to a bigger audience on TikTok. So it's fun. And it is exciting. And I am excited about my day, even at this early hour on this Saturday morning. Yeah. It's still dark out. Talked for about an hour. I've got about a 2/3 of a pot of coffee left. And I'm looking forward to drinking it. I've got some peaches, I got some apples. I wish I had some cottage cheese, but I don't. Sean wants to know, what about local political positions, city council, mayor, etc.? Contribute your advice to community. Sean, my beliefs wouldn't go well in a political office either, I don't think. I ruffle too many feathers. Although I guess our president-elect has just shown us that you can ruffle a whole heck of a lot of feathers and still be elected. So maybe, and I'll tell you what, I don't know. I don't even care what political side of the aisle you're on. I think we should all be able to, and I get it. I get a lot of people don't like who is going to be our next president. I understand it. But he was just him. And he being him pissed some people off. Yet he got elected. Huh. Makes me wonder. I'll tell you what, I don't know how anyone can't be excited to have Tesla's CEO involved in some way in our government. You know? I don't know. That's just me, though. Maybe it can bother some people. What's the guy's name? Richest guy in the world. City council, you can voice your opinion and represent people. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that, Sean. But I'd be working in the city council in Naperville and be allowed to talk at certain times. Maybe, okay, this is going to sound crazy. Elon Musk, thank you, Chip. Maybe that's thinking too small, Sean. Sean's suggesting, and by the way, I realize I could never get elected to city council in Naperville. I just don't think I could. But maybe the problem is that's thinking too small. Why would I want to sit in a room with 4 other people or 5, whatever other people, and look around and have somebody with a gavel or whatever they do? Why am I not in the perfect place right now? Thank you, John. I might be in the perfect place right now. I think I can make more of a difference on social media than I can do this globally. I got somebody from Chicago tuning in. I got somebody from Alabama. I got Ireland. I got people hopping in from all over the world that I can touch through my show. Why would I want to sit in a classroom or sit in a city council meeting and have to follow the rules? And I'll tell you what, probably most people on the city council aren't. They are the rule followers. I tried to get on the education board. Thank you for my hat and mustache. It's hard when you're having a serious conversation and suddenly you got a cowboy hat and a mustache on you. Because you get paid for it, do you? I'm sorry to hear that, John. Sean wants me to do something because I get paid for it. I'll bet you I get paid more here than I will. I bet you within a year, I'll get paid more than the mayor of Naperville. I'm sure within 5 years I'm going to get paid more than the mayor of Naperville by doing my show. Heck, I might get paid more than the President of the United States by doing my show on social media. In 5 years, I think I will. I don't even know what the president makes these days. But it's not about the money. Yes, I have bills to pay. And yes, I have expenses. And yes, I just bought a car. And my payments are going to be this, and I got to make them. And yes, I got to keep a roof over my head and cover my financial responsibilities. But I'm fairly astute and fairly well educated, and I'm going to say I'm smarter than the average bear. And I'm seeing what's happening every day when I watch the audience and I watch the revenue and I watch my growth on social media. And it's happening. And the money's going up and the audience is going up and the difference I'm making is going up and the fun I'm having is staying constant. And the coffee I'm drinking is always good. And I think naturally we often want to change something or to do something different, or the grass is always greener, or if you're doing this, you should go do that, and if you're doing that, you should go do this. And sometimes things that are good take some time. And I'm almost letting myself get out of shape in front of you right now. And probably in a couple months, I'm going to go, hey, I've done that for long enough. Let's go back to the gym. And when I go back to the gym, I know it's going to take some time to get back in shape. And I know it's going to take some time to build an audience and take some time to build a business that is Coffee with Ken. But I love what I'm doing, and I know it makes a difference. and I see it growing. And I cannot tell you how good that feels. And in the meantime, I am going to wait tables today at 2 o'clock. Gonna bring my best attitude, gonna work hard. Hopefully my customers are gonna be in there to have a good time, and I will help them have a good time if that's what they are there for. And before that, I'm gonna meet a buddy out for breakfast at 9 a.m. and I am looking forward to that too. Don't know if I'm gonna get a ham, mushroom, and cheese omelet with hash browns and a side of pancakes, or if I'm gonna get the country fried chicken. I don't know, but it's gonna be good. And in the meantime, I'm gonna eat a little fruit, I'm gonna drink some coffee, I'm gonna post this video on various social media platforms. I might edit a couple videos as well, and I am so excited about my Saturday. And I am so excited just about my next cup of coffee. And if I were you, wherever you are and however you're feeling, find something. Sometimes it's hard to be super excited about your day, your week, your month, your career, your life, and however you're feeling, find something. Sometimes it's hard to be super excited about your day, your week, your month, your career, your life, or whatever. But certainly you can find some excitement and some joy in that cup of coffee you have waiting for you in the kitchen. And I think if we all practice finding gratitude for the smallest things, I know we'd all be a lot happier. And if we can all be a lot happier, let us do it. So I want to thank you guys for joining today. I so appreciate you guys hopping on a Saturday morning, especially at an early hour today. If anybody is new out there, please follow my show. I go live every morning on TikTok. I have a lot of fun. I post a lot of videos. Hopefully they make a difference. And it's fun for me to watch it grow. And it's fun for me to do my show. And that rhymes. That's always cool. But I appreciate you. And I'm feeling good. I'm excited about my day. And I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are excited about your day. I hope you are loving yourself on this Saturday morning. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.